Hello everyone and welcome to another Hungry Healthy Crafts video tutorial. My name is Leslie Oman and today I want to show you how to make a masculine card. It could be used for Father's Day or for a birthday or any occasion really, pretty generic. This one I'm making into a birthday card for my brother. I'm starting off with some kraft cardstock and folding it in half to make a roughly 4x6 card so it'll fit in a standard size envelope. I've got some scraps lying around here. This is from the We Are Memory Keepers line, and I really like the colours in this cardstock, and I thought it was lovely for a bit of a masculine feel, but I want a background on this, so let's grab a stamp. I'm going to use this wood grain stamp from Hero Arts. I think that'll look great as a background. I want to have a strip across the card, however, that doesn't have the stamped image so that I can put my greeting in there. So I'm using some masking tape and laying it across the card about a third of the way up, just a little bit off the bottom, like this. I'll tuck these bits behind here and then I can stamp the image onto the card. So I'm just grabbing my stamp and I'm using some distress ink here. And inking up my stamp, and then I'm going to lay this carefully on top of the stamp and use my fingers to walk around the outside of the card to press it against the rubber so we get a good crisp impression. I need to make sure I also press down at the bottom here where the masking paper is. That looks great. Okay, so I'm going to ink up my stamp again so I can do the bottom section of the card, and just carefully line this up as straight as possible and push along that line and along the edges. Now let's see. Excellent. Okay, so that's the background of my card completed, and let's just pull off this masking tape and hopefully we'll have a nice clear crisp line like this. Cool. So like I said, I'm using this paper from We Are Memory Keepers. I've already run that through my Cuttlebug with some circle nestabilities dies. And I'm going to ink up the edges now using this distress ink and my blending tool and some blending foam. So just gently dabbing the blending foam into the ink and then swiping it across the edge of the circle, just to add a little bit of brown onto the outer circumference of the circle. I'm also going to put some stars on this card. With girls, it's easy to use flowers and love hearts, and for boys, one of my go-to items of embellishment is stars. So I've got these stars, which are quick cuts, cookie cutter dies, I think, and just grabbing some other paper from the same collection from the We Are Memory Keepers paper, and I've also got another scratch piece of circular paper here. I'll use that too and run that through my Cuttlebug again. So here we have the stars already cut out, and I'm going to layer these onto the circle. So let's pop these out of their dies and see where I'm going to put these. Just about here, I think. Now I think what I'm going to do is to take some of that ink again and add a little bit of brown around the outside of this smaller star, and that'll make it pop against the light blue background. So I'm going to assemble the card now. I've already put some double-sided sticky tape on the back of this circle. I'm going to lay it down here, add a little bit of tape to the back of the larger star, and you can use a glue runner if you like, but I like the tape because it's nice and secure, especially if it's going through the post. So let's position this about here. So let's grab some foam adhesive for my little star. I'm just going to put a couple onto the back of this little star, maybe just 3, enough to hold it up like that. That's perfect. And then stick it on top of the large one. Now, because these are exactly the same shape, just a different size, it almost looks like an outline or a shadow. Let's work on our greeting. Now I've got some twine. This is like linen thread, and I really like the baker twine that you get, but this one doesn't have any stripes on it, so I'm going to make faux baker twine. I've grabbed a Sharpie and I'm winding the linen thread around the barrel of the pen. I'm just going to hold that in place while I take another, let's say, brown pen, and I'm just going to draw lines across over the linen thread, colouring it in. A couple of these around the pen to make sure I don't lose the end of it. Okay, so I've done that a couple of times around my pen, and I'll pull it off. And now my plain thread has got little brown lines on it, so it almost looks like baker's twine. So let's add this to the card. Let's grab a piercing tool, and I'm just going to pierce in along the spine of the card and thread this through like so. I want it to lie against that top edge, so I'm doing a little snip on this side of the card. You don't have to do that, but I find that it actually holds your thread in place a bit more securely, and it only has to be a millimeter or 2, just so it can sort of fit snugly in the little snipped piece of card. So let's tie this into a knot and then make a little bow as another focal part of the card. I'm going to put something along this bottom line now. So I'm grabbing my white gel pen and I'm just going to draw little dashes along that line to create a faux stitching look. There we go. So you can stamp a greeting, but I've decided to use some ribbons that were in my stash. So I'm just cutting them out of this backing sheet, and I've chosen one that says happy birthday, but there was also one that said have a great day, and I've just snipped out the 2 words have a. So I'm going to build up have a happy birthday. So I'm using a coffee stirrer from a coffee shop rather than a lollipop stick, the first thing that came to hand, and just lining it up. I'm going to carefully rub over the top of the ribbon transfer the whole way along. So now I've done the happy birthday, I'm going to position the smaller text which says have a and rub that on as well. Now I'm almost finished, but I think I need to add a little bit more dimension to the card. So I've just grabbed some of my button jars, and I'm going to pull out a few which coordinate or match the colours on the circular piece of paper above. So I've taken out some orange ones, and I've also taken out my jar of blue buttons to see if I can find one that might tie in with the colour of the blue star. So to stick these in place, I'm going to use some of this continuous line adhesive from Glue Dots. It's one of my favourite go-to adhesives for buttons and embellishments. It gives a really strong hold. So this is the last button. I'm just going to stick this one up at the top left hand side of the circle, just breaking out of that circular line a little. And there you have it. That's my card finished now, and I think it's really a lovely card, perfect for any boy. Thanks for watching.